Hello, good morning and welcome to summer in Scotland. It has arrived, we're here and it's pouring with rain. Perhaps though the country was, I don't know if it was wanting such a downpour, but it has had it now, and Edinburgh returns to being a typical Scottish city and a typical Scottish summer, and it's soaking wet, which makes today quite a trudge in a different sense to last week. This is day 4. My day 4 planned didn't go according to plan because the show I was going to go and come across and see was cancelled, so we ended up not coming across, and today's day 4 instead. So my usual eclectic sense of trying to collect as much as possible has led me this morning to actually attend something that started at 9 AM in the space in Nidri Street, which fascinated me playing. It's one of those things which, when I've come across early, I've always tried to grab something that would be ignored by the traditional mainstream and often not get any reviews whatsoever, and I think that's what I've seen this morning. It was an American piece, and American high school students, I would imagine, or college students of some description. I've noticed that what a lot of American schools do is they seem to be corralled into this grouping which will sell the experience, it would appear, to those who can afford it to come to Edinburgh, including flights into London, coach tour up, a run at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. And in some cases I find that quite interesting, because what an experience it must be. But what an experience it must be for those who can afford it. Not necessarily for those who can't afford it, that haven't got the ability to dip into a trust fund of some description or mum and dad's savings in order to make the trip. Now and again, as I've seen already this year, they tend to put them in productions which are recognisable. Musicals, for example. And they can be very good because the standard that you see when they come to perform can be very, very, very high. And I saw that one here with Glee's Romeo and Juliet, which I thought was a fantastic little idea and a wonderful set of performances. But sometimes, as I also have seen this year, they're putting young people in plays which they don't suit. Not that they don't have the ability, not that they haven't got the empathy with the characters, but they are playing characters who we have to suspend our disbelief just that one step too far, asking us to believe that a 17-18-year-old is a doctor with a PhD, or an adult character who has the types of emotional depth that we would expect in a 40 or 50-year-old, and so on. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This morning it was about high school shooting in America, played by high school students, and I thought it was great, and I thought it was a lovely little find. And at 9 o'clock in the morning in space at Nidri Street, what a graveyard shift. Audience, as you would expect, was pretty small, and the only sort of blight on mine was, what is the etiquette, do you think, for fluorescent trainers in a show? What's that about? Should we have a general rule, because as soon as the lights go down, your eyes get drawn to them? Not their fault, I would imagine, but it certainly added to the frippery of the experience, not in a way that I necessarily wanted it to, but nonetheless a script that gave me something worth watching. And I didn't actually book it in the Fringe Review website, or master list, sorry, or plan necessarily to go and see it, but because Space have given VIP passes out to people who have a reason for having them, I was able to just simply rock up, ask if there was any spaces, get a ticket, get in and see it. So I will use that experience throughout the rest of my Fringe, so that if I do have a spare time and there is something out there that there is a spare ticket for, then you never know, might get a review that nobody planned on having. So thank you, Space, And now I'm off to my next one, and I will see you towards the tail end of the day. Bye for now.